Once again, bringing in some really talented additions. Let's start with Dorian Singer. You saw him against you guys last year, but what stands out to you about him as a receiver?
And his catch radius, his body control, and obviously that he was off the chart in the game against us, and having to have an up close personal relationship and being around him. I mean, he's definitely been the young man that we thought we were getting. He runs probably a little bit better than I would have initially gave him credit for. So, I mean, the things that he's done, thus far in camp has been really impressive.
You kind of learned about his backstory, being a walk-on, no offers.
Yeah, that was one of the first discussions that we had after he had gotten in the portal and we made contact with each other. So, I got a chance to find out a little bit about his family history and, very unique kid. And that says a lot about who he is as a person, as a player. He's got a why, he's hungry, he's driven, and those are the type of kids that usually succeed not just in football but in everything they do.
And now finally getting to work with Zach Branch in the field, did it surprise you in any way, more than what you saw on tape or when you recruited him?
And that dude, from a talent standpoint, is special. No, it really doesn't surprise me because he's not just a talented kid; he's a confident kid, and his confidence is driven by the fact that he works his butt off. I often joke with him sometimes. I'm like, man, I think your parents started you working out and training at birth because some of the things that he could do athletically is just incredible.
How is Makai Lemon progressing so far?
Makai's been good. Makai's one of those kids that, he's a lot faster than what you would initially think. And then Makai's just one of those tough, hard-nosed, old-fashioned football players. He's one of those dudes kind of like Kyron. He ain't gonna mind doing any other dirty way.
Thank you.
How do you get Brendan Rice to kind of bottle up what he did in the bowl game and carry that over and play with that kind of confidence?
Honestly, that's not me. That's going to be Brandon Rice. He wants to be successful. He wants to be a guy that can foresee himself playing in the NFL in the near future. And in order to do that, he's going to have to continue to perform at that level and do it on a consistent basis, week in and week out.
What was the big thing with him? Just kind of sustaining that confidence and him believing in himself.
Yeah, and I think another thing that the room helped him a lot last year because it was the first time that he had been in a situation where you can't just be a gifted guy and on the game day be expected certain results. He had and he did, to his credit, learning. He had to come out here and you have to do it every day and you have to do it in practice every day. And after so many times and stacking so many days together, it just became who he was as a person in the habit.
How does this year's room compare to last year's? Is there a comparison? I know it's still, it's barely spring ball, but is there a comparison?
I think the biggest thing, everybody for the most part in the room this year has a great idea of conceptually what we're trying to do and where to line up. Where, this time last year, you still saw some hesitation in their play because they weren't sure, okay, did I see the signal right? Is this exactly what I'm supposed to do? Am I supposed to go this way? Where now, with the exception of the two new additions that we had, those guys are, they have a very working knowledge of what we're trying to accomplish and what the complementary routes next to them and the read progressions and what we're trying to do offensively.
Going back to Dorian, is he an inside or outside guy for you?
He's a guy that could do both. And I think that's the biggest transition that we made, going forward is, we got a whole bunch of guys in the receiver room that can, easily interchange and do both, which will just make us a better football team on the perimeter.
What do you think about Zachariah Branch?
Where do you want me to start at? He's extremely strong for his size. He's incredibly fast for his size, and he for a short guy, he's able to extend and expand his catch range.
Coach, first
and he can get from 0 to 100 really, really, really quick.
First week of practices, big momentum setter here. What has been the theme that that you and other coaches have been pushing today and in your first practice?
Just, finishing every period, finishing every practice better than it began. If you go back and you look at our season last year, none of us was, excited about the way that it ended. And so, you know, we had an explosive start, but, you know, we didn't finish the way we wanted to. So, you know, one of the biggest things that we want to do is, you know, not put a time limit on a period, not put a time limit on a drill, not put a time limit on a play. We want to finish better, and we want to carry that into everything that we do in every element of our program.
Yesterday, after we spoke with Lincoln after practice, he mentioned the numbers were maybe a little bit low in the wide receiver room. Is it number-wise, or is it maybe a diversity of type of receivers where the numbers are low?
No, it's definitely number-wise. I mean, you think about it. You know, there's we have some guys that graduated that left. We have some guys that left due to the transfer portal, and we have some guys that declared to go to the NFL. So, you know, until we get the full class in here, you know, going through spring balls, your numbers are going to be, you know, a little bit down compared to where they were last year.
If Zachariah scores a touchdown, is he allowed to backflip?
That's a head coach's question right there. If you're asking me, I would say no, because I mean, we expect you to score touchdowns. You know, that's a part of your job, and we expect you to do it quite often. So, you know, I'm one of those old school guys. You know, if that's who you are and that's what is expected of you, you're just doing your job. So.
Across the board, has there been one guy who's kind of taking the biggest leap through the winter program just from last year?
Well, I mean, we're still early on, so, you know, I wouldn't want to crown somebody as, hey, you know, you're my most improved guy. I mean, this is the third practice, the first day in pass, so, I mean, there's still a lot of room for growth for a lot of people, and, you know, I want to give those guys a fair opportunity to do so.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.